What's good, everybody? I'm Jess, you're watching Keto Rewind, and today is day 17 of my Keto Rewind Clean 30 challenge, also week 3. So congrats on making it this far. I am super proud of all of you that are putting in the work and getting it done and learning so much about yourself. Around this time, you're gonna start finding that inner strength because the cravings are gonna calm down, but then there's still the outside stimulus that kind of tempts you, but you feel so good that you're gonna have that power to push through or to redirect those emotions. And it usually happens around this time for me. So I would love to know if you're seeing any of that right now and how you're doing. So we're gonna kick off a full day of eating. These recipes are easier for on the go, so I thought I put that into consideration when I put together my menu, showing you how you can easily bring leftovers with you and eat on the road, eat at work, or whatever. The more of a easier, convenient lunch for this week. So anyways, turkey burgers. I know a lot of people didn't want eggs this week, so I tried to really hear everything and put it into this meal plan to make everybody happy. That's a tough task. But anyways, it's another full day of eating, and let's kick it off with a 5-mile walk, and then I will show you what I'm eating today, and then stay tuned to the end. I will discuss the macros. So let's get going on this day. Okay, 5-mile walk in, and let's go make lunch. This is a recipe we did in week 1. It's the Copycat Zoe's Power Plate. So you're gonna need these like red wine vinegar, some sweetener, some olive oil. The recipe link will be down below. And this is gonna make 2 servings. So adjust it for what you need. And it's a great way to eat on the go without too much hassle. So there's the coleslaw mix. It was a 10-ounce bag of coleslaw, a turkey burger, and 30 grams or 1 serving of feta cheese. So just check my recipe link below and you'll be able to get the exact quantities of the ingredients and stuff. But the flavors work really well for this, and it doesn't have any eggs. So you're going to take your feta after you measure it out and just crumble it all on the top. It just gives it that, the flavors just work with the red wine vinegar and the salt and everything. So much enjoyed lunch after a 5-mile walk. So there's a close-up of it all. I used the turkey burgers from yesterday, and I'm going to finish it with the cinnamon roll perfect keto protein bar. Like I said a million times, you can just have a larger serving of protein. You could swap it for a shake, or you can do a bar. Just do what you can do and don't sweat it. But this is what I'm doing. And my keto coffee while I'm going to start dinner. Okay, so let's make some butter chicken. This recipe is delicious, and we're just gonna serve this over riced cauliflower. So grab a bag of frozen riced cauliflower, or dice up your own cauliflower, or use fresh. But this recipe takes no time to make, and it's delicious and totally a crowd pleaser. So let me change the camera around and show you how we're gonna make it. So we have a 1.5 pounds of frozen chicken. I'm just gonna let that come to temperature before I start adding the spices in, just because it's frozen. I don't want it to be extra wet or runny. So we're just gonna let this cook a little bit, and then we're gonna start. So in the miracle of time, we'll be right back here in a minute. Okay, while we're waiting for the chicken to cook down and defrost a little, we're gonna start with the spices. I like to just put all my spices in a bowl. So you can use fresh garlic, or I'm just gonna use garlic powder. I'm going to follow the recipe as for spices, pretty much exactly what they're doing, with the exception of I'm going to do onion powder instead of an onion. So I'm going to do a 1/2 teaspoon of onion powder. So turmeric, 1.5 teaspoons of turmeric. I love turmeric, so I'm just eyeballing it here. It's good for you. Turmeric. Sorry, I said that wrong. Teaspoon of ground ginger. 1 teaspoon of pink salt. 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper. 3/4 teaspoon of chili powder. And this recipe my kids will also eat, so kid friendly. And 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. Now I'm just going to mix those all up. And when the chicken's ready, we're going to toss that in there. So I'll be back when it's time to add the spices. Smells awesome. I'm going to take 1 bag of riced cauliflower and put it in the microwave for 4 minutes. So while the chicken's cooking, we're going to go ahead and cook the riced cauliflower. Now that most of the chicken has cooked, I'm just going to drain that liquid because mine was frozen. You won't have to do this step if you use fresh chicken. So I'm just going to drain that extra liquid. We don't want it to be soupy. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put 2 tablespoons of butter and let that flavor that chicken. So let that go in there, and then I'm going to put the spices in there as well. And just let that, it smells heavenly. And the last ingredient is a cup of heavy whipping cream. And then you're just going to let the flavors all come together until the chicken is cooked through. But make sure you measure your heavy whipping cream because that's very calorie dense. This is going to make 4 servings. So you don't want to overdo it. The heavy whipping cream has a lot of calories. So eyeballing it, as much as it would taste delicious to add extra, don't do that. So we're just gonna stir it all up so it gets combined, and I'm gonna put the lid back on it because we want some sauce with the butter chicken to put over the riced cauliflower, because the riced cauliflower is gonna act like rice. All right, so I'm just gonna put the cover on and give it a few more minutes and it'll be ready. Okay, I'm gonna do 1.5 servings of the riced cauliflower, and then I'm just gonna put a scoop of the butter chicken on top and enjoy. It is so delicious. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Now let's do the macros. Okay, so today's macros, it's gonna be really easy to log because a couple of these things should already be in your in your calorie food diary. That's the word. So I've had 17 of 19 of my net carbs, which check, stayed under. 94 of 117 grams of fat, check, stayed under. I never ever try to go over, I never stress about hitting the fat. Just stay under. And then 92 of 94 grams of protein, check. Pretty close enough if you ask me, and 1,302 calories. So one quick thing, we have already logged the Keto Rewind Power Plate. If you've been with me for this 3-week challenge, that was on week 1. So if you put it in your food diary, you would just log 1 serving of it. And again, with the protein bar, it's a controlled serving. There's a barcode. Search it, add it in, done. So that's lunch. On to dinner, it's KETOGENIC's butter chicken. I make a few changes to it. So I'll explain that in a second. But I also had it on 1.5 servings of riced cauliflower, and that was dinner. So when it comes to the KETOGENIC butter chicken, I make a few changes. Now, let me show you a real trick. I told you I was going to start giving you little tips and tricks. Let's go to foods and search, say you wanted to add KETOGENIC's butter chicken. Well, it's pretty well known. So all you would do is type in, before you even try to record it, you're going to type in KETOGENIC butter chicken and search it. It shall come up. A lot of people have logged it. So you can easily just take one of these and copy it. And up here in this little dot, you can put add to favorites, copy to my foods. You can make your changes. You can easily edit the recipe and change, say you'd use 2 pounds of chicken this time around. All you would do is go up to the 3 little dots right here, click it and edit. So, and if I say I used 2 pounds of chicken, or I changed the serving, or I halved it, you would just make your edits here and save it. That's one cool thing that you can do, like to adjust your, say you make it and you've made a different amount, but that's a quick and easy way. So one other thing over here, when it comes to recipes and meal plans, I'm not sure if this is available if you don't have the premium. Again, I'm not affiliated at all of Carb Manager, but I wanted to show you what it could do. So up here it says import recipe. So if I searched their official recipe, it would bring me to this URL. So up here where it says ketoconnect.net/keto-butter-chicken, you could take that recipe and import this URL, and it would take the macros from their page and create a, it creates it for you. So it logs it already. You might have to adjust it, but that's one easy way to take a URL of a website and import it into Carb Manager, and then you'd add it. And if you wanted to make changes to it, you'd copy it to yours. But that's one time saver. Instead of having to type it all up, you can do it that way. So I hope that little tip was pretty cool. Obviously, I have it in my thing, so I'm not going to add it, and I don't want to go any further than that. But that is how easy it is to take a URL and import it in the Carb Manager to have it do all the searching, and then you just make any necessary edits at the end. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed this day of eating. Comment below if you have any questions, and use the discount codes all down below. The menus down below. Everything is in the description box. I am Jess, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye. You're watching Keto Rewind.